This is Sacred Seasons 2. It's a quaint browser-based MMORPG, but the cool thing is that it's a lot different than the ones we typically cover, and I'll mention that here in a minute. So you got a couple classes here and a different kind of like subclasses, I suppose. So what was it? The clown, the hunter. I can't really see that top one. It looks like soldier to me. And so you pick all this stuff, and it's not a huge difference. If you've played like RPG Maker games, then this kind of like this back end is very, very similar, and you'll see that when you go into combat. It's very obvious that if it's not built on RPG Maker framework, it's inspired by at the very least. It's just so similar. So it looks pretty good. I got to admit, this is like a Congregate kind of game. I think it has its own website, but then it also hosts on Congregate. So it's like a Congregate kind of style game. So we go into battle, and you see here, you've got a couple options: attack, and then you pick which one you want to attack. So this just reminds me so much of RPG Maker. It's not even funny. It's all very, it's pretty simple. It doesn't have a high production value. This is a very, indie game, small team kind of guys. But it still all looks very nice. Like, I like the character portraits. The writing is actually not terrible. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to read it, but it doesn't instantly make me cringe that they're like, I'm a hero and I gotta stop the evil. They're just like, yo man, you're like a farmer, you need to go help out this chick. It's like, oh, okay, I guess so. And like I said, all the character portraits are pretty good. All the assets in this game are quite good. The animation's a little not great, and like I said, the general production value, like in combat, it's obvious that like they're not working with a whole lot there. They're doing their best, but it's not super engaging or flashy, I was just surprised by how many unique like characters they have out here. All these people have, their own character portrait. Maybe that's generated through their engine, whatever. But it's pretty impressive. The music's not too bad either. Notably, controlling your character is an absolute pain. Like, it's hard to explain, but like if you click on a place you're not supposed to go, but there's areas in between that you can still go, it won't complete that action because it's like, oh, you can't move to this space, so you can't move at all, kind of thing. So you have to kind of like spam click your way around, which is very annoying. And unfortunately, this whole like town is very still, which is, I mean, you could have given these characters at least a little bit of animation, right? A little bit of ambient animation, or maybe a swaying tree. So that's what I mean by, in terms of like the production value. Animation is probably the biggest problem I have with this game. But to be fair, it is targeted at probably a younger audience who don't really care as much for it. And especially since I'm so into animation, I can't it's hard to stand by and watch it just kind of be ignored or, chaffed or whatever. So the initial part is pretty confusing. I think they could have handled this a little bit better. And of course, it's free to play, so you've got all this, share it on Facebook. No thanks. It was a little bit confusing getting into this because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. And it goes from 100 to 0. I mean, it goes 0 to 100 real fast. Okay, I'm gonna drop down here into this cave. I think this is a cave that I'm supposed to clear out, but even by this point, after the fact, I'm not entirely certain. So I go to this first base, and it's a little bit difficult to get on there, which is kind of dumb. But when you pick your row, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean. So the assets here are pretty good. Again, pretty good. The animation and sound effects are all... The sound effects in particular are really bad. It's the sound effects you'd hear in really old Newgrounds animations. That's kind of like what they got here. And I got distracted. Anyway, so I lost, and I just go back to Plymouth Rock or Plymouth, whatever. Battling is a little bit difficult if you don't really know what you're doing. So I just assume that area is too difficult for me. So I kind of walk around. I'm looking for other stuff. I still have no idea what to do. And I'm not saying I want autopath. It's just, it could have been like, hey, you should probably go here. Maybe it'll be a little bit difficult, but you can handle it. Something like that. So I just keep walking around for a while, just exploring, looking around, trying to figure out what to do. But again, no autopath. Don't need it. I just, maybe a little bit more. And like, there's this like path up here. I'm gonna try and go up it, but you can't go up it. I don't know what's blocking me. It could be that you can't. I'm just not clicking at the right place. But if I had to try that hard to go up, then maybe something's wrong. So there's a whole bunch of different shops around here. It's all pretty par for the course. You have all the what is it called? UI elements there on the right side. It's like inventory, items, quests, guilds, yada yada yada. It's kind of unfortunate that this game is kind of, you know, stuck in this 4x3 box. It could have been really cool to expand the size out just to like have more visual area. I think a good way to improve the movement maybe would have been through the arrow keys instead, which is surprising that they didn't use that. Especially considering I'm pretty sure that this is built off of RPG Maker framework. I need to check that out actually. That'd be interesting to find out. So all the music in the game is it's okay. It's not amazing. At the very least, it's fitting. Like this creepy cave has creepy music. The town has kind of more upbeat folk kind of sound to it. Notably, the combat music is pretty bad. It's like someone took a really weird cut and like just like ramps it up immediately, or no ramp whatsoever. So I'm still trying to figure out where to go. I'm trying to get to that 2, but I have no idea how to get there. Like this 3 has the arrow, but those other numbered signs don't. So it could use a little work in terms of transparency and what you're supposed to do. And I'm like, oh man, mysterious figure. Nope, she just says the same thing everybody else does. And I can understand that. They're trying to like, hey, you should probably go check this out. Kind of like a Navi fairy, but with the character dialogue instead. So you can pick from a whole bunch of different characters, but they're all pretty similar. You know, they're all gonna have their attack, and they're all gonna have their like AoE attack. They're all gonna have an ability, and the animation differences the animation and visual differences aren't big enough to warrant me caring about other classes. Especially since this is very clearly not like a traditional RPG. This is more, I don't want to say new age, but it's more like kind of goofy, cartoony. It doesn't really matter as much. Story doesn't really matter as much. It's just kind of like, it's a quaint adventure game. That's what it is. That's what it wants to be. And that's what it's doing relatively well. Like, you hear it's like someone was like drinking out of a cup or something. And then you have like a slap. It's all pretty bad. But yeah, generally not too bad. Not too bad. I'm going to go through this combat scenario. I think I actually win this one. So I actually use my abilities this time. You know, that's kind of important. But I also use, I think he has the first aid to heal, which is good. Keep me alive a little bit longer. For some reason, oh yeah, that's right. I was going to say, for some reason it seems so much easier this time. And that's because I actually leveled up once. And I guess just leveling up just a single time makes all the difference. So it looks like you're going to have a whole bunch of different characters by the looks of this user interface here. That's a lot of characters to control. I'd be surprised if they actually took advantage of, let's see, 6 characters at once. And everybody's on their own little active time battle kind of system. That's another reason why it reminds me so much of RPG Maker. Because that was a pretty common plugin. Is it called a plugin? I guess so. Yeah, I'm wrecking these spiders and these. I don't know why that ghoul dude, that skeleton dude, actually turned into skeletons, but then the other ones didn't. That's very strange. Maybe it's like from Doom. Every once in a while, you get like a gib that would make everyone explode. Every once in a while, or it's like a critical hit in Fallout. I think if the sound effects were uprest, it actually wouldn't be as bad. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. What do I give this? Like a 7? It's okay. It's I don't know. Should I give it? I think it's more like a 7.5. I just don't think it really hits the 8 mark. It doesn't impress me enough. I didn't feel like inclined to keep playing this. There wasn't any story beats. The combat I didn't feel was very interesting. There was very little ramp up. It's just like, boom, you're in this world, get going, kind of thing. Instead of, but like this part is really cool. So you have like all the classes. I assume you level up a certain class and then you unlock the other classes, which is a cool thing. But again, most of those classes don't even interest me. Like snipers may be kind of interesting, but it's just gonna be like take aim for 150 extra damage kind of thing. Anyway, so that's it. I think I'd give it about a 7.5, but it'll be a 7 just for the purpose of the animation. It's okay. Production value is not high enough for me to care, but it's one of the better browser-based games if you're interested. Anyway, that is it. Thanks for watching.